Alrighty, well, welcome back to Slightly Less Scripted. We're here with Jim Shannon, class of 93, public address announcer for Shamrock football and Shamrock basketball, and also communication specialist for Ford, right?
Yeah, communication specialist in the industrial system, more business analyst, business specialist, I guess now.
Yeah, working with Ford, but more well known for his voice over the Shamrock PA. If you ever came to a football game or Boys Bowl,
coming up on 15 years, which is
incredible.
Yeah, they haven't fired me yet, which is great.
Yeah, so I would have. I remember hearing your voice then when I was a student, and before I was a student when I came to the games, and then obviously I had the chance to work with you a little bit up in the booth the past couple of years, which has been fun.
Absolutely.
To see behind the scenes.
No, the work that you've done, you mentioned that, and the work that you've gone in to do and really make the home games for our fans, for our visitors, really an incredible experience. Absolutely. And from the music selection to just the overall interaction to now this game-changing Jumbotron that's in the south end zone, generously donated, it's remarkable. It's a lot of fun to view and to announce it, to be able to tell the action that's going on the field. It has been for me just an absolute thrill.
Yeah, it's a different level because obviously I've been to a lot of games, and now the past few years have been mainly in the press box with you and the Shamrock. Let's give credit where credit's due. Shamrock media team and the students
that do run it amazing.
Even from the live stream,
right,
to the Jumbotron and we bring in people for music. And last year we got to work with I think it's Gen X Pyro, the pyrotechnics. And we've had to have some interesting experiences, some flyovers last year.
Flyovers were interesting. The Diwali fireworks that were going on in the neighborhood behind us was impressive.
Which game was this for again?
That was the playoff game against Stevenson. That was November 1st. That was going on while the game was going on, and I was reminding our fans and more importantly our visitors from Stevenson that
wasn't us.
Wasn't us.
Yes,
it was impressive though.
Because that could have been a little bit like gloating because we were putting a pretty good game on Stevenson, and then all of a sudden fireworks from our neighbors on Diwali, which is, and for a second we actually thought, because that day we actually did have pyrotechnics on site, so we had some at halftime on the end zone that went off and may or may not have started a small fire in the tree line.
I will confirm or deny none of that. I have no idea.
Which was put out quickly.
Thank goodness.
And then basically at the start of the second half, we see a fireworks celebration
during the game.
Yeah,
during action. I'm like, wow.
So that was unfortunate. Not too much that you could do about it, but it was really cool.
Oh, it was incredible.
Yeah, the pictures that we took were stunning.
And they did get a reaction. We're like, not us, but hopefully y'all are enjoying it. Shout out to our neighbors behind the stadium. Thank you for thank you for celebrating with us.
That was a great way to start playoffs. All right, let's take it back a little bit and talk about. Obviously, you have to be a huge fan of sports. So how did growing up? What did you play? How did you get into sports?
Oh wow. It really started in the CYO and did a lot of basketball back then. Tried football. They didn't have at the time the track and cross country that they do now in the Detroit CYO. So when I got here, I didn't do anything at the first my freshman year, and which was unfortunate because cross country goes out and wins the state title. And I thought at the time cross country was skiing, and so got to know some of the athletes that ran on the team, and then ultimately were like, I could do that. Wanted to actually use running to get in shape for basketball, which was really one of my loves, and got cut from basketball all 3 years I tried out. And they're far. And that was absolutely the right decision to make because I was not anywhere close to being at the level that the folks on the floor were. So
I know where you're at. I got cut all 4 years for soccer, still went out every year and tried my hardest.
But earned a few letters in track and cross country and developed a passion for coaching out of that. But really, the sports side of things, and especially the Shamrock sports side of things, began with my grandfather. My grandfather, God rest his soul, was class of 42. And when we moved from the Denver area to Detroit when I was 4 or 5, he would take a few of my cousins and me to the Silverdome and watch either the kickoff classic game at the time or the Catholic League championship games when the Shamrocks are playing there, or when we were lucky enough the state finals. And so we'd go to where the Lions would play, but we'd go watch his alma mater at the time. And it was a lot of fun. And so when I got to come here and graduate, he thankfully was around and got to be at my graduation, my commencement ceremonies at Hill Auditorium. The fun thing for me was he started getting more and more involved with the alma mater. He started taking part in reunion activities. He started giving a little more of his time and talent and treasure to the alma mater, and
he stayed active,
stayed a lot more, became more active, and saw what they did with myself, and then my brother and my cousins who followed, and was really very heavily involved. And in fact, got to attend one of his class reunions before he passed in 2007, and that illuminator that he was in there for, I still keep and hold dear. It's so for me, announcing football and knowing that he invested a lot of time with us as his grandkids and my dad and my uncles as well. For me, when I'm in the booth, I get some very fond memories of those times and think quite a bit about my grandfather and the time we spent there. So it's a great way to honor his legacy.
I was going to say it's a great way to honor him for sure.
Yep.
Wow. And then obviously Silverdome would have been a little bit, I don't know. Maybe I might have gone if I was really young. I can't remember or not if I ever went to the Silverdome, but Silverdome versus Ford Field. What is it for you? Which one has more feeling? Which one has more to it for you? Is it Silverdome just because of the memories?
The drive to Ford Field is so much closer, which I absolutely love Ford Field. I got a drive by when it was being constructed, watch the girders get raised as they're building it in the early 2000s. But the Silverdome was a great place. It was one of those places that when it was full, it was loud. I got to do a lot with when I graduated. Got to help out the Catholic League and do some things for prep bowls. So I got to be up in the press box side of things, helping the league and getting to see that all 22 view of the action on the field was a lot of fun. And that kind of piqued my interest as far as, gosh, I could do this, announcing football and had a big love for it. Watched a Shamrock game where we throttled Brother Rice at the Dome from the press box. So that was a lot of fun as well. And I saw a few state finals there, not only from the time that I was a student, but when my brother was a student, when my cousins were students, and even beyond that, which was a lot of fun. But Ford Field's great too. Ford Field is a thrill, and it has a lot of character that the Silverdome didn't have. The Silverdome was pretty sterile, but it was a lot of fun. It was big. It was overwhelming. I mean, you have capacity for 85,000 plus.
WrestleMania 3
with 193,000. So, but Ford Field's an absolute blast too.
They had a little soccer
World Cup, 94 World Cup.
Yeah, well, they had some soccer fields right outside the Silverdome, right before it got demolished. So I remember playing a few soccer games. Right outside. You could see the Silverdome, but it was across the street. Well,
they had the game in the stadium.
Yeah,
and then with actual grass. So MSU was instrumental in building the technology to bring the field indoors.
So World Cup game, and then obviously I think the Pope visited too, right?
Papal Mass in 1987. Wow. Yes, absolutely.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah,
that's cool. Obviously, stadiums and whatnot, they get torn down, get run down and whatnot, but that's all right.
Some of them get torn down prematurely, but
my one that's my favorite, because I grew up and the Red Wings were obviously just sick when I was growing up.
Right,
Lindstrom era, Joe Louis. I still just Joe Louis, to me, when you walk up those steps, I was so upset when I found out that they were moving from it. And I know it was like mainly cement and it was kind of just like you said, kind of a little sterile. But like it felt like you were entering into like an arena.
It was outdated when they built it. the amenities that they had, they ultimately had to, what to me it felt like add on after the Palace, which was built, which was really game changing at the time. Joe Louis then had to go ahead and catch up, so to speak, and keep up with the Joneses that were out there in Auburn Hills, and it was good. The sightlines for hockey were amazing. Not only just the pro side of things, but college hockey was a thrill too, because you get the Great Lakes Invitational. You'd watch
you'd watch Michigan Tech, Michigan State, and
Ferris or whoever.
And it was always great. My cousin played for U of M, and I remember so many times going for that little 4 tournament that they would do.
For the folks at Joe Louis, that was for them a lot more fun than a playoff game because 20,000 people at Joe Louis, half the crowd was one team or the other, as opposed to, say, a playoff game. If the Wings weren't doing well, it was either all or nothing. And so that for them, just building those relationships with those venues and having that dialogue, you get to learn some of those things, which was for me a real treat.
Yeah, Little Caesars is nice. I got a chance to go to a few basketball games, playoff games this year.
Okay,
went to two of the playoff games.
Nice,
and it was fun.
Where'd you sit?
Pretty close.
That's good. That makes a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
Have you sat in the gondolas yet?
No, I haven't. I have not experienced the gondola yet.
For hockey, that was really
cool.
You talk about the all 22 view, but the all 12 view for hockey from up above gives you a really interesting perspective because you can see everything unfold. And it's really cool to watch.
Yeah, I had some a good buddy of mine sent me some pictures from up there, and he was like, "This is a pretty sick view from." Last time I was there, I think we were like row 13.
Oh, okay.
So we were
nice.
Yeah, we were in the action. Me and my brother were just like, you know what? We haven't seen I've never seen a Pistons playoff game, and we ended up going to both of them.
I got to announce from Mason's seat. It was announcing CYO basketball. My daughters were playing at the time, and they did a little game with my second favorite Shamrocks, the Sacred Heart Shamrocks over there in Dearborn, and I got to call the game from Mason's seat, and that was a lot of fun. That was I don't announce like Mason does. Mm-hmm. He does an incredible job, but being in the chair and being around watching the kids just have fun playing sports at that age and just being it was fun for me to watch, but a lot of fun to call.
I've got a 2-parter for you.
Okay.
The first part would be, which sport is your favorite to watch, and then which sport is your favorite to call?
Ooh.
Because I'm going to guess they're different, I feel like. But maybe not.
I love football. I absolutely love football. College, pro, high school.
And does it change from like you like watching Shamrock football than you like watching Lions, or do you like them equally? Or like, what is there anything where you're like, I like watching high school basketball, but if I watch football, I want to watch pro football?
No, I excuse me. I genuinely enjoy just being able to see all the action going on. I am at all levels, really. These athletes do some incredible things that I can only dream. And watching. Goodness,
I should have brought you a water.
I guess
my bad.
Yeah.
This is not like Joe Rogan.
This is definitely not Joe Rogan. But no, watching football really at all levels, it's a lot of fun to see that action go on. To announce, I absolutely love basketball, and I could call college basketball if I ever get that opportunity, or love announcing high school basketball. You get a few more lulls in the action than you do for football. Football, you were on every play, which is great, and I absolutely love doing it.
It's impressive to see when you're doing it, and you have to get with your spotter and get with it's unbelievable to see if you like. I always wonder because you're pretty quick with the calls because the next play is about to start,
right?
And then even if you make a mistake, you pivot really quick to like correct it or make a adjustment for the next play, and you let someone know. That part I've always found cool is you usually even if there is a slight mistake, which literally rarely happens.
Checks in the mail. Thank you.
Next play, you'll fix it.
No, you mentioned the spotter part, and really, I'm at the end of the day, I'm just the voice. I get to work with Alan Barker, who was my biology teacher, my honors biology teacher here, my freshman year of high school, and Pat O'Brien, and also in the counseling office, who's now our timekeeper. Patrick is amazing because he is calculating the yardage in his head play by play while he's doing the clock.
Yeah.
Alan is laser focused on all the action. He's got
all
numbers. All the numbers. I got the rosters provided by the athletic department, and at the end of the day, I'm on the mic, but I get a lot of very competent, very capable help, and it makes it go so much more smoothly.
You are right. Pat is quick with the yardage.
And anytime we get a substantial chunk play like that, we definitely want to call it out. If it's a run play, give the props to the linemen because they absolutely work hard.
Yeah.
Hearing their reactions from the parents that are in the stands as well is cool, because some of them you watch, and some of those parents as their sons make a tackle, and they hear their name called, watching them tear up. And it's not just the moms, it's the dads, it's the siblings, and it's a lot of fun.
That is actually my favorite part of being in the press box. It's cool to see a touchdown happen or a run play happen or a big defensive play, fumble, whatever it is. It's cool to see. But then the cooler part is when you see the fans jump up and they start to wave their towel or their cowbell or whatnot, and they go crazy and shout. That part's really cool because you're like watching someone else watch the game.
That is another fun part about it too. So, because it is, you can have a lot of fun announcing it, but at the end of the day, you're really helping deliver an overall experience, and you're just a small part of it for them, but for everybody. You're for them, for the players, for the opponent, for the people that are aspiring to come here. You want to make it as memorable as it can be. And we've seen games where we're on both ends of a lopsided score, and you still, at the end of the day, until the clock hits 000,
want to have some fun with it.
You want to have fun, but and you want to be fair, and you want to acknowledge really what's going on both sides of the ball, regardless of the outcome, because you want people to have that memory of, oh wow, we had played at CC and there were 9,000 people, and we lost, but it was a fun atmosphere to be in. So.
Yeah. Then you just made me think of another story that I think we got to tell because it was funny. It was the Belleville game.
Sure. Go ahead.
You remember what I'm going to say, right?
I think I know where you're going, but go for it.
So we have a lot of people watching the Belleville game, and we're trying to get a rough estimate count on how many people are there. And then at the end of the game, you just go, with over 7,000 or 8,000, whatever the number was, in attendance. And then you look at me and you go, I have no idea how many people are here.
I had a rough idea. And I at the end of the day, I didn't have the data on how many tickets we sold. Obviously, Aaron and Dave Soffren had that data. And I do remember prior to that, when it was SRO at Father Richard Elmer Stadium, where we played Brother Rice. And it was Grant Perry's senior year and Alex Malzone's senior year. And I still think we won that game, but that's another story. But there were easily 7,000 people there, and that was confirmed. And just the Belleville game, there were so many. That was a casual estimate. And
you gave an exact number too, though. You're like 7,642, and then you looked at me and you're like, I have no idea. And I was just like, man, that's amazing. You're like, whatever I say, that's what goes.
and thankfully they had the numbers behind it, because it turned out to be over 9,000.
Right.
And I should, didn't want to overinflate it, but absolutely
try to get a number.
And have people just say, wow, I can't believe it. But getting to that game, physically getting into the stadium, pulling up, I'm like, I'll get here early because it's probably going to be a busy game. There was talks of all the seats, the hype selling out, and the hype, and understandably so. Belleville had a phenomenal team then, but just the amount of dialogue that was happening around behind the scenes of, we're gonna crash the Elm, and we're gonna bring 1,000 people of our own. We're gonna buy as many tickets as we can, and it ended up turning out to be pretty darn right. There were there were lots that were full.
Oh yeah,
pulling up, and this was at 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I usually on a good day get to the stadium an hour before just to make sure you get the lineups right. And I'm like, yeah, I should probably get there a little earlier. And I'm glad I did, because there were people backed up out onto Grand River still waiting to get into campus.
I didn't leave school that day.
I could only imagine.
I left the car here and I was like, I'm not losing my spot. I don't want to lose my parking spot.
I don't blame you.
So that was a fun game.
No, it was really good. That was a lot of fun. That was and thankfully, having more home games like that, hosting home playoff games, it is a much different atmosphere.
I think we have a lot this year.
We have 6 home games regular season. And then God willing, a long playoff run on top of that. And so it's pretty exciting. And then hopefully, one of those home games will be at Ford Field. And then hopefully they'll tap yours truly on the shoulder to announce that game.
That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
I've got to announce one of them. Excuse me, but it was Central Catholic and Cass Tech, which, credit to Central Catholic. They played very, very well, but you could see at the time, both teams were incredibly talented, and it was cool.
Do you have this could be a hard question, but
Sure.
do you have a favorite game that you've called since you've been here? Do you have one that's like, yeah, I remember that game and that was incredible?
There's a couple. One for football, one for basketball. I think anytime you get an intense rivalry, our student section, and if they're dialed in and they come to the game en masse, the opponent student section really make for a genuinely fun atmosphere. So for football, the Belleville game was great. The previous game that I alluded to, the Brother Rice CC game, where it was SRO and both student sections were back and forth. That really makes for a thrilling experience to call. The energy is just that much more electric at the time. For basketball, I think the same thing applies. I think kudos to the Cubs of UAD. When they come in, they bring a pretty big student section as well. Those games are pretty intense. Again, same thing when we're on the winning side of those games, they're incredible.
The Brother Rice game for basketball,
the Brother Rice game for basketball was also very, very good. Similar, they didn't bring as many students as I thought they would, which was surprising because they had a very talented team as well.
I think it was one of those where they thought this is going to be in
the bag,
an easy game, and we don't really need to show up.
Yeah, shame on them because they missed a great show.
Yeah, we brought out the swimming and diving team at the free throw line that game.
Yes, we did. Yeah, shout out to Patty Gersma and the swimmers, and that
Coach
was
Stoddard for organizing.
Coach, she did a great job with bringing them all out there. And
I'd never seen that before. Even the ref liked it. He was cheesing.
Ref was like, all right, yeah, it's something you'll see every day. No, that game in particular was a lot of fun. I think the one game where we beat UAD, or I think any of those games where you try to preemptively say, hey, don't storm the floor, please, for player safety and the student section.
It's going to be a good game.
It's going to be a great game.
Yeah,
absolutely. So those there's I don't think I ever nail it down to one, but
you got a few that are in your mind.
I do have a few that absolutely for me have been a thrill to call on the winning side for sure.
I do too. Actually, I think my favorite game though might be an away game. I liked when we beat Brother Rice at Brother Rice and we had a full student section there. That was, I don't know, 2017, 2018.
Okay.
We stormed.
Yeah.
That was
at Larry Tech, or was that
at Brother?
No, at Brother Rice. Was it? But it wasn't on their campus.
Yes, it was.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was on their campus, and that was the man. We went to OT and we won it on their end line.
Okay.
Gosh, I cannot remember what year it was though.
Wow.
I'm gonna go with.
There's footage of that.
Yeah, footage of it, and then the Father Kaufman head comes up out of the storm on the field. It's incredible. Yeah, it's literally we'll pull up the footage.
Is that when Software was still at Brother
Yes,
Rice?
100%. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, the football side of things, that Brother Rice game, the interesting thing about it was that was the final game that Coach Ricasa was coaching against us. Fun story, and I tell this as many times as I can, and again, I'm appreciative to Aaron Babbitts for employing me as the public address announcer, but before the game, he goes and says, hey, we're going to go ahead and give a tribute to Coach Fracassa. We're going to present him with a jacket with all his state titles on it. I'd like you to go ahead and say a few words about Coach. I'm like, okay, great. You got a script or anything? No, you just go ahead and say a few things and we'll get them out. So I'm like,
well, what do you want me to say about him?
I'm like, oh, okay. So quickly get on the this is before all the AI tools came out, and so I'm like researching very, very fast, and so thankfully cell coverage was good, and I was able to look up something and set a quick snippet. And
yeah, live production is stressful because that always happens at the last minute. Hey, I need you to do this, and you're like, "Well, do you have anything for me?" No, I just need you to do it.
Yeah, no, and sometimes that happens. We had a basketball game where the visiting team didn't provide any lineup.
Oh,
like, okie dokie.
We're going by numbers today.
Going to go by numbers, and we're going to write everything down. And usually, some of the athletic departments will have name, number, year, height, and all sorts of fun stuff like that. And this was a clean sheet. And so, announcing the starting lineup, you're saying, year, number, name, height. This kid goes 6'2", height 6'2". Like, noted. But no, it's like I said, that's one of the other few times I just make a number up as I go along if I don't have something.
Yeah, you got to keep the show rolling.
Got to have it going. No, it's been fun.
One of the things that this could potentially be a hot take question for you, but we'll see, because I always hear it. I want to know, you've been doing the games for a lot longer. Mm-hmm. And obviously I've experienced as a student, and then after being a student working here now, how have the crowds been from the student section perspective over the past 15 years? Are we having more kids show up to games, or are we having less? Have you noticed anything?
I think it depends on the opponent. I think when you get to a boys bowl setting, I think they're always going to be full, because at the end of the day, that's a big darn deal. That is the game. You're hyped up for several days leading up to the contest. I think having playoff games on campus certainly
helps.
Very much so. It's tough at times with the way the Catholic League used to be earlier on, where you'd sometimes only get 3 or 4 home games, and sometimes only one league opponent at the time. And so the influx of some of the Toledo schools has really helped balance a lot of that scheduling. So now it's 4 or 5 home games before the playoffs, and that ultimately makes the experience at home
a little
much more special. It's always special. I think it's more lively. I think people are like, oh yeah, we got to go to the game. We got to got to make it a point for Friday night viewing. Obviously, I think during the pandemic we did a really good job as far as getting as much fan involvement as we could, having the broadcast, large part to the media team in the parking lot, and doing what we could to accommodate that. That was a very challenging time, but no, I think as the student body continues to stay strong, and the work that's going on with respect to educating those freshmen on what our traditions are, what our cheers are, what you do when you get here, how we stand, which hasn't changed over decades.
Yeah.
That continues. That never dies, and that remains fairly consistent. Yeah. Even in a short amount of time, I've been doing this in the century that Catholic Central's been around. So no,
I know that I feel like I've potentially noticed a difference since COVID, but I think a lot of things changed since COVID, and I think that was the reason for it.
They have, and I think we're starting to see some of that
bounce back
a little bit. I mean, you saw it with the Belleville game, understandably, but you also saw that with the playoffs. But the other thing to note too is there is also so much more.
A lot of coverage.
A lot of coverage for one, but also a lot more things to do on campus.
Sure.
Present company included with esports. I mean, there are so many things for a student coming onto campus can do
after school activities.
After school, right? Yeah. That sometimes conflict with the time of varsity game is, and that's just out of our control. But you do want them involved. So if they can't be at the stadium watching the game.
Can they have it turn on a TV?
They can stream it from their hotel room when they're out of town for a tournament. They can watch it on their phone and catch highlights of scoring plays. Aaron Babbitt's was perhaps one of the most prolific posters to X with game highlights and
update scores.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's on it.
And he's on it win or lose. And you don't necessarily as an AD like posting those, but again, we own those experiences and he calls it when he sees it. And so, but he is good about sharing some of the highlights of those games, which make it a lot of fun too. But no, I think because there's so much more for a student to do and the potential for conflicts to happen where they can't necessarily get to the game, that's a good problem because at the end of the day, they're still representing the Valiant Blue and Peerless White and they're doing it to the best of their ability. So at the end of the day, I think for me that's cool to see as well because seeing esports, seeing Coach Gizmo and the debate team going all throughout the country on tournaments.
Yeah, academic team, robotics.
Absolutely.
Robotics pulls a crazy amount of hours.
Yes.
I know I'm here for esports quite a bit, but it's different teams. So then I get to see the one robotics team and wow. Like it's substantial. We've done some 12-hour races with sim racing on Saturdays. And then those 12 hours is robotics have been here.
Half Le Mans type.
We'll do so it's iRacing does usually what happens is whatever the actual race is in real life, the week after they'll run an iRacing event.
Oh, cool.
The same track, the same kind of conditions.
Oh, neat.
And you just race them with the simulators and it's 12 to 24 hours endurance races.
So like Daytona or okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, we've done last year we did Le Mans, we did Bathurst, we did is it Nuremberg?
Nürburgring.
Yeah, there you go. So we did like 4 or 5 of them. They're 12 hours on weekends.
Oh, very cool.
So yeah, they're long days, but there's usually like 4 or 5 kids on a team.
Yeah.
And they'll just switch off.
Cycle in and out.
Yep, cycle in and out. And some of them take naps in the faculty lounge and whatnot and then come back. It's interesting. We need to get beds for them. They're like, we want to do 24 hours.
Yeah. Wow.
I forgot. Yeah, well, you work for Ford, so you'd be a car guy.
In parts, but before that, my career took me to Sprint Nextel. So yeah, I got to see a lot of the stock car racing side of things with the old Nextel Cup series.
Wow.
And so that was from a marketing standpoint, that was a lot of fun.
I'm super glad that that the Olsen family and Lincoln, the freshman, came up to me and started this sim racing thing. I think it's a cool thing to have on campus for car people because we have a lot of them.
Oh, absolutely. No, there are, and back when I was on campus, certainly had our share of kids whose parents worked their 9-to-5s at Ford Motor Company in various capacities. And so that was not uncommon to see quite a few, and not just Ford, but also some of the other
the
automakers.
Three,
between Chrysler at the time and then GM.
I might be biased though because I went to U of M Dearborn, and
sure.
so did you. But
I did.
So the Ford connection is really strong.
It is very strong, and you notice, Henry Ford built U of M Dearborn's campus,
and then donated
the land behind his estate,
which is his estate.
Yeah,
that's a cool. I really think it's a cool campus.
It is, and the amount of growth that's taken place there as well over the last 20 years is pretty mind blowing, and that's the other neat thing. I get to stay close to them as an alumnus, with their school of business, where I got my MBA from, and try to do things with some of their classes and some of their comms classes as well.
I know that there was a lot of connection with Ford, and then also now my guess would be that. With Chancellor Grasso moving to Ann Arbor, there'll probably be even a bigger connection.
You would think there is. It's I know Ford has, or not Ford, but U of M rather has a significant autonomous vehicle, M-City, autonomous vehicle testing area.
Yeah.
And so they work pretty closely with all the OEMs and manufacturers to try to help the students that are there learn that technology and engage with it.
I think they do a solar car too.
Their solar car challenge racing is,
and they won a national championship a few years ago.
World championship.
That's what it was. Yeah.
They the solar racing team at U of M does an incredible job. Globally recognized as well.
I want to figure out how to bring it here.
Bring a solar car here?
Yeah. Cool. I want to figure out how to do it at CC.
If anybody could do it, you would.
No, I don't know anything about cars. Legitimately. I'm not a car person at all. My brother is.
Okay.
Huge car guy. Me, not so much. No cars, no movies, no, don't talk to me about pop culture. Don't do that with me.
Okay.
It won't turn out good.
But I've tried. Don't quote a movie around this guy. It's just crickets.
No cricket. All right.
And I'm not a car guy, but I just see I like it because I like technology. So I like technology in cars. I like cars for that reason. But I don't know anything about engines. I don't know anything about wheels or none of that. Sorry.
It's all about relationships though. And we've talked about this too. I mean, when recall before you had probably one of the most viral moments that this campus has had in the last 3 years.
Yeah, you and me sat down.
We broke bread at Shakers.
Yeah.
And had dialogue, and we said, what is the one advantage that we have as a campus that a lot of folks don't have? It's the camaraderie, it's the brotherhood, it is
the students.
It's the students, and at the end of the day, they make it. And
100%. People have reached out constantly to recreate that, and I always say, well, you can do this, and that. The one thing that's going to be really hard to recreate at your school is the students. Because that was out of my control.
They
completely.
They did. I mean, it was, and we talked about it. And I could envision it conceptually, and having sat in more than my fair share of assemblies and then assembly matches for wrestling. But this was clearly next level. So it was in one of these. If I ever get to understand all the nuances with announcing an esports contest, sign me up, because I would love to call assembly match 3 if and when that takes place.
I think that might have to happen for the next iteration for the third one.
All right, I'll have to brush up on my.
I got to double check to make sure we're doing it.
Good idea. Don't overstep our bounds.
Hoping we do that.
I don't need to get fired from my volunteer job.
Yeah. I don't. I think at this point you've built up enough credit.
Never. No. That's not quite. But no, it is genuinely a lot of fun, and so it really didn't start necessarily with sports.
Yeah,
and that's what I tend to tell people as well. It actually, using my voice for good, putting my big mouth to good use, actually started, believe it or not, in school at church. I would lecture beginning in 2nd grade. The principal at the time tapped me on the shoulder to lecture for an all school liturgy, and it was part of Catholic Schools Week. And the first thing he says was, "Or do you go to mass on Sundays?" I'm like, "Yeah." "Well, can you be here for 10:30 mass to read?" And I'm like, I think so. And he says, and I kid you not, the words he tells me is, "Go to my office and call to make sure." And all I heard was, "Go to my office," and it ended there. So, but no, as it turns out, no problem. We'll be there. You'll read. And I've had the privilege of lecturing at my home parish for, now over 25 years.
Wow.
And the announcing side of things, I did a little bit of it in college too. But no, it really started with faith and being able to. I can't sing a note to save my soul, but I do have these pipes, I guess.
Yeah.
And the ability to use that and proclaim God's word at the end of the day is, for me, very gratifying. Been able to lecture for first communions for my kids, confirmations, in front of bishops, the archbishop, all school masses. It's been all of it. It's you still get the butterflies doing it, but at the end of the day, it's really when you know the reason why you're doing it and who you're doing it for me is exciting. And I think one of those things that came out of that, I had I was getting ready to lecture, and a woman out of the crowd comes up to me and she says, "I like it when you lecture at mass." Well, thank you. That was really nice of you. She says, "No, you don't understand." She goes, "I'm hard of hearing." I see what you're saying, and the way you enunciate while you are lecturing helps me to connect better to what is being said. So I appreciate that. And I was absolutely blown away. The fact that, you know, I didn't necessarily think of that in my approach to lecturing, but when she brought that to my attention, it was one of those things where, I have to keep doing this.
Yeah.
And so you find a way, and you juggle schedules to make that work when people ask.
It's definitely a talent. I feel like I struggle sometimes with enunciating all my words completely, but if you have to like really think, you do have to think about it.
You do. I think part of it is you have to slow down as well, and knowing the mechanics of the sound system that are there. You know, for a while our stadium had a little bit of an echo to it, so you had to tune that out and still slow down, but be deliberate in the pronunciations and trying to get those phonetics ahead of time.
Hearing yourself like a half-second delay really does throw. Like right now, we're hearing ourselves pretty much in real time.
Sure.
But when it's
delayed like that,
delayed a little bit, you're like, what? How many times am I saying this?
Exactly. Yeah. Echo.
Man. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yep.
I think we've done it's better.
It is.
It's slightly not perfect, but it's way better.
No, whatever the media team and you know, again
IT department.
IT for sure. The whole game day experience. And I know Justin has had a pretty big hand in that. I know Aaron and the athletic department.
Yeah.
And then you look at everything from just trying to be best in class as an experience goes, and as in everything that we can be.
As we can.
Has really been beneficial to the way this campus has grown in preparation for century number 2.
The goal that we've always been told for the games is we want people to eventually, who haven't been to Catholic Central, to come to the games because they say, oh, it's a CC game.
Yes.
And it's fun.
Yeah.
So that's kind of that's been the goal from every department, is like, how do we make it so that way the community would want to come watch the games, which is really, I think, for being in Michigan, it's a hard task. It's not Texas.
No. Or Ohio or Pennsylvania or any of those either.
But so, if anyone could do it, you know, we can give it a good shot. Yeah,
absolutely.
We can give it a good shot.
And I think you do. I think we still, you know, the Brother Rice game is obviously a very high energy game, regardless of how either school is currently at in football. And thankfully right now we're doing really well. And you know, it's cyclical over there. They'll figure it out as well. And they'll be, you know, they'll rival, and they'll always give you
and that game's never easy.
Never.
Yeah.
No. Regardless of the score, there's
a lot of emotion. There's always a lot of emotion. So it's just a hard game. I mean, that's what happens.
Yes.
It's going to be a close game. It'll be gritty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that's what you want out of a rivalry game.
A good rivalry game like that. Yeah. Absolutely.
Same thing. Michigan, Ohio State, you know, like every single time it's like, dang, even if one team has the clear advantage or on paper advantage,
sure,
those games always turn out to be just something weird happens.
It does for sure.
And the score stays close.
Throw the record book out the window and yeah.
Yeah. I liked watching that one student go out. Obviously we're Go Blue fans, but I liked watching that one student go up this year for I don't know if his valedictorian address and whatnot. He's like, we didn't just beat Ohio State one time, not 2, 3, 4, but 5. And then the crowd just goes absolutely crazy.
Yeah, that is always that's always fun to do too. So no, I get that part. That is a fun part of the rivalry, and what's as impressive for me, because I think in my role at Sprint when I was there, it was a matter of Ohio was one of my areas. The amount of passion that they have for their team, win or lose, to me was eye-opening, and I didn't think I realized it at the time, because there was that little bit of a lull with the way Michigan was playing. But I think the Buckeye fans, to their credit,
it's a different level.
Very much so.
I think it's a different level.
And so that's why when my college team wasn't doing well, I always would say my favorite football team was Catholic Central Shamrocks. It is. And that's not, but it was deliberate. I mean, it's because you can ride
I think Michigan
struggle with some of your teams professionally or collegiately, but this school has stayed pretty consistent as far as being close to my I guess fandom.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think Michigan is more divided between Michigan and Michigan State than I think Ohio is for Ohio and Ohio State.
Sure.
So I think that's a big part of it, where the Ohio State fandom is very much like, if you're in Ohio, you like Ohio State.
Oh, I think so. Unless you're kind of that sliver of Toledo that we took over in Lucas County. So.
But yeah, that's what I've always seen. Because I've got a few buddies that are Ohio. My best friend and neighbor for like 20 years. He moved now to Arizona, but Ohio State through and through, even though he was born in Michigan. And I'm like, this is a different, like the way he just follows the team is different than the way I follow Michigan. And I was like, I went to Michigan. I was like, you didn't even, like, he went to Schoolcraft.
I almost threw my daughter out of the house when she said she was going to go tour Ohio State. I'm like, get out, let's go.
It's a great school though.
No, it's a very good school depending on the program. And truth be told, one of my fondest memories in my early career was meeting Stephanie Spielman, the late wife of Chris Spielman, as part of just some involvement with Race for the Cure. And Chris Spielman was probably one of my favorite football players.
Yeah.
When he was playing linebacker for the Lions. But again, Ohio State guy, he's okay.
He's all right. He can pass now. He's on the Lions.
That's right.
So Lions have been good to watch the past few years.
It's been fun being a Lions fan and just watching the energy. And the stadium has always had that energy. I think the energy has gone up as the wins have come by, but the fandom's always
the
been
fandom
there.
remained the same.
Yeah,
it's always like loyalists.
And it's a win-loss town at the end of the day. This whole city is a win-loss town. We were talking earlier about the Red Wings and when I was a freshman here, the Pistons were in the first of their heydays, and
we follow what's doing good.
Wins and losses. That's unfortunately sometimes the way it is. But
Tigers are hot.
The Tigers are a lot of fun right now. It's
kind of weird.
It is. It's a good thing. It's been a very long time.
Just on paper, they don't look right, but they just play different.
Just win, baby. Just win.
Yeah, that was fun. I went to the past few years. I've gone to really good games. I got to see when we qualified for playoffs last year against White Sox.
That
was a good one. And then right afterwards, saw Torkelson across the street at Tin Roof.
Okay.
Yeah, and my cousin decided to make a funny comment to him. But everyone's taking pictures with Torkelson, and it's obviously a huge win.
Sure.
Playoff game qualification now.
Yep.
And my cousin goes up to him and he goes, "Hey man, you want a picture?" Because he's taking pictures of everyone. He goes, "No, I don't want a picture if you torque. I got to tell you something."
Oh no.
And he was like, "All right, man, go ahead. What's up?" And he puts his arm around him. He goes, "I just got to let you know, you're a really good Tiger. You're an incredible mudhead."
Ooh. Ouch.
I know. But the thing is, he looks at me, he goes, "Man, I love you for that. Let's take a picture."
Good for him.
I was like, he took that one like a champ.
Well, and that's the whole thing with sports. I mean, you look at Javi Baez, for example. I mean, how many people in this market want to absolutely jettison him?
Yeah.
And he ultimately has had a little bit of a career renaissance of his own post surgery, and so it's one of those things where sports is something that absolutely teaches you failure. And so when things are going great, they're absolutely going great. And when things are not going well at all, you learn who is very much willing to be in the foxhole with you, and either as a fan or as your support structure or as the sports media that happens to cover you. You find the need for a friend, and you ultimately realize who those people are. And so, kudos to Torque for going ahead and going rolling with it.
He rolled with it.
But now that they are playing well,
he's playing well. Baez is playing well.
Yep.
Everyone is fitting their role. I think I mentioned it to someone else, but I just feel like the Tigers are good with puzzles.
Yes.
they don't have the greatest players at each position,
right?
But the ones where they're putting them, they're getting the best out of the team.
Exactly.
Which is cool. It's cool to watch. I think Hinch is incredible.
He is having a good year, and he's definitely doing what needs to be done with this lineup that he has at the moment. So
they who knows? Weirder things have happened. They could go on and do something
very much so
crazy.
Yeah.
So
fingers crossed. It's been a long time since a World Series win.
Yeah.
I was in 4th grade.
Wow.
Thanks.
Wow. Last time I saw, let's see, like a big playoff game for Tigers, Verlander on the mound. So what is that, 2014?
Probably,
maybe against New York.
Yeah.
Sound right?
That's about right.
Yeah.
13 or 14?
Yeah, I think 13, 14 it had to have been. So, and that was like the last, what was that?
12, 13, 14. 12 was the World Series.
American League.
Divisional series, I think.
Divisional? Mm-hmm. Yeah. That would have been like the last time I remember a really big game.
Yep.
So.
Too long.
Yeah, we did good against the Guardians, but just, I don't know, ran out of steam, I guess, last year. So we'll see if we can continue it on for this year.
We'll get there.
Yeah. No, Detroit sports is here. I mean, we're in the thick of it. I think Red Wings got to figure out a few things, but they're not far away either.
No, they're getting there. I think goaltending, defense, but they're finding a way.
They made a couple trades, right?
A couple trades.
Goalie,
I think.
Yeah.
I haven't been following the. I don't listen. I mean, to a lot of sports talk radio as I used to.
What is it? 97.1.
97.1, but before that was DFN and.
I don't know. Idea what that is. I'm sorry.
Sean, you remember DFN?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
I got you.
Thank you.
No idea. No idea. No 97.1 ticket. I'd like to listen to it on the way into work. Those guys are funny.
Yep.
They got good stuff.
They do. Yeah. Well, John Jansen is a CC dad.
Really?
Absolutely.
That I did not know.
John's not his head. Yes, John Jansen's a CC dad.
There's a lot of people that are CC people, and it goes wide and far.
Yes.
You really can't go anywhere without seeing the interlocking C's.
No, and I think the fun thing for me about that is when you do recognize that, and it's happened to me when I was a student. But I think when you recognize that, I think one of the first things you ask is, "Are you a student there now?" And they'll either say, "Yes, I am," or "No, I'm an alum," and then you can spend a big chunk of time just reminiscing, but there is that recognition.
Yeah.
Year by year. I mean, I've worked with people. I was wearing my football polo to work because I was leaving the office to go call a game, and a gentleman that I'd worked with in the building for several months comes up to me and he's like, "Where'd you get that?" I was like, "Oh, I'm the announcer." I'm like, "Oh, I'm class of '83." I'm like, "Wow, that's," and we spent a good chunk of time talking, and so it's fun because I think as an alumni base, we recognize the sheer amount of work that goes into the brotherhood,
the shared experience. That
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
And it's easy to talk to just about anyone. Doesn't matter what year they graduated. Funny thing is, I think it's sometimes whether or not even they graduated. A lot of times, people will have an experience of CC. Will they be like, "Oh, I remember playing them," and they just have it in their back of their mind, like I wonder if they feel the same way about other schools.
And it's any sport.
Yeah,
so
100%.
So, I mentioned back earlier that I ran track and cross country. We'd have people we'd meet in college and beyond. They would say, "Oh, you ran at CC. I used to hate running against you guys because your parents would be nonstop cheering the whole way." And that for me was always fun. We'd come out with a team of 50 guys, and you'd have all the parents lined up along the course, or your teammates lined up along the course, cheering their guts out for you. And it was really game changing. And sometimes it felt like it was demoralizing for our opponents because you wouldn't necessarily hear that as you're running through. So the experience is certainly shared, but it's absolutely memorable.
Yeah. 100%. I don't think there's anything I didn't get the same thing out of college or
It's
other
a little different.
experience. It's just a little bit different.
Sure.
So I always tell people it's home.
Yes.
That's the best way to describe it.
Very good way to put it. And I think that's one of the things that bring me back here is when my grandfather passed in 2007, one of the things my cousins and I wanted to do was have the alma mater be played at his funeral, and didn't have the music. So we came up here to campus here in Novi to get it. And first person I saw coming into the building was the director of admissions at the time, Mr. Aaron Babbitts. And the first two words he said was "welcome home." And so that for me is really what helps bring me back is realizing that, again, that connection to my grandfather, the shared experiences with the alumni, the amount of growth that the current student body is experiencing as we really get close to century number 2 of this institution. It's what helps bring me back and keeps me grounded to what kind of a special place this is.
There's a lot of growth going on. There's a lot of things changing, but I still think at the end of the day, there's a lot of things staying the same.
Absolutely.
Which is cool.
In a good way.
Yeah, in a good way. In a good way. Obviously the facilities can change and the facades and this and that. And
we have a real airplane.
Yeah, we may or may not have a Blue Angel hanging up in the building.
No, we may. There's no
yeah, that one's there for everyone to see. But it was needed.
No, it's you talk about the level of shared experiences and the level of precision that those pilots have to be among the best of the best. Not just Top Gun. You're talking about a precision aircraft pilot that can fly wingtip to wingtip at
6 inches. 6 to 3 inches.
By the time, 36 inches at the start of their season, so their air show season, and then 18 inches by the time their season is done.
I remember watching that docu-series on Amazon. I forgot what the amount was. It's 18 inches.
18 inches
Still
wingtip
incredible.
to wingtip at 500 miles an hour upside down.
That seems easy.
No problem.
My favorite part about that was when they sit at the round table and then they go through the motions with their eyes closed.
And moving the stick. Yeah. Visualizing. The visualizing of everything that's, the audio cues that they listen to, the visual cues of the markers that they have on the terrain as you're going through with these air shows that they rehearse for. The level of preparation that they put in for minutes, seconds, literally, to make that happen is. There's a reason why they're held in such high regard.
You can tell they kind of get like upset if they don't get within that framework.
Oh yeah, no, and those mistakes are very
you can't tell
extreme.
From
no, but they know.
You can't tell from when where you're seated if they're 24 or 18, but to them it matters. But they know, yeah,
they know, and you talk about the preparation, but then the recapitulation when they go back through and they debrief and hey, what went well, what didn't? Hey, did you know you did this? And they hold each other accountable. Both the ground crew and prepping those planes to the people that are spotting to the actual pilots themselves. It's a total team effort, and it's not just. It's not just the person behind the stick. It's everybody on the ground. It's their whole support structure, and that's a lot of the ways. Same way it parallels
says a lot
here.
About the school and sports too. If you get everyone believing in a shared mission, you can do some pretty cool things, from the team to the press box to the fans to maintenance to whatever else you want.
Without exception.
Yeah.
Yep. No, this is great.
That was a lot of fun.